All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the JARTCast, your source for all bad fab opinions. I'm joined today by Rob and John from famous Lupinefiasco as well as OllinTogether. And then Tegan and I are the scrubs that are we co-hosts. I don't know. Are we?
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Anyways, we're gonna be talking about Silver Age primarily, and we also have a brand new set, which is very exciting. But yeah, we've been pretty busy. So I think the last time we had the JARTcast was right before Compendium, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I
Sounds
don't think
right.
you're wrong.
Sounds
That sounds right.
I think it was
Sounds
like
right.
RTNs.
Yeah.
Like we did like an RTN tier list, I think.
Yeah. So it's been a minute. A lot of things been going on in Fab. So how's everyone doing?
John, why don't you start with the how are we doing? And this is general, so no dooming here.
Yeah.
Dooming. I'm doing great. This is fantastic. I'm having just a great day generally. No specific reason. I feel fantastic. I feel rejuvenated and reinvigorated. Never felt better
Electric,
for no particular reason.
energized. Yep.
Rob, how
Shocking
about you?
good.
Yeah. How are you doing,
How
Rob?
you doing, Rob?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I would say I'll get into more of some of the specifics later, but I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire, a lot of Deadlock, played a bit of Marathon this weekend, so a lot of good games out, even when I think Fab isn't my favorite.
Who are you playing in Slay the Spire mostly?
I'm doing Ironclad right now.
I showed Tegan
getting
how
through
to,
the easy
how to
runs.
actually play that character the other day.
Yeah, I don't like it. That character completely it doesn't make any sense in my brain. So Roy had to show me. So now I'm trying to just beat the heart with the Watcher. I got really close and then I punted like horribly. I was like, yeah, I have the infinite, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, I can't get out of rage, and I just died. And I was like, oh man, this sucks.
But yeah, Tegan and I have been doing pretty well. We got back from calling San Diego where I made some money.
Yeah,
So
$400. We got you got an eye of
Yeah,
video
that's pretty nice.
off of that prize money.
And I also broke open like a slab and turned the Eye of Ophidia little label into like a ring, which is pretty cool. So
I went on like a power walk today. I've been doing well dieting, especially after calling San Diego, where we feasted like kings for 3 days.
yeah.
We ate so much pasta. There was so
Oh.
much food.
That was
It was
fun.
ridiculous.
Going to Felipe's and getting the antipasta coming to the table, and everyone who's not me going like, oh my god, what's going on? Why is this so much food? It was a great time. I had a ton of fun in San Diego.
Yeah. But anyways, we have a lot of things to talk about. So Sage just got a pretty big new shakeup, I guess, with the new ban list. Again, there's not. I think the philosophy I guess they're kind of going with here is that there's not a ton of like rationale for a lot of the ban list, which is I think a way to approach it. But yeah, new cards on the ban list. I think I don't know. I feel like some of these are not surprises. A couple little problematic cards with like Lightning Press and Burn Up Shock. And I think Sirens and Steelblade also kind of make sense to me.
Steelblade was surprising to me, actually. I think that was a card. It was like one of the last Warrior cards I expected to get banned.
Yeah.
It feels very iconic, and it feels very like I don't know, at like a one cost in like Sage. It doesn't feel like where you don't have Tunic. It doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah.
No.
Like you do always have to pitch to play it.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's at least a 2-card play in some aspects.
Josh Lab pointed out that it's the first warrior card in the game to be banned, which is kind of
It's
interesting.
hilarious.
That is crazy.
No, I don't think there's anything on the list that really surprises me. Like there are cards that I would have banned in place of certain cards. Like banning Spindle is not how I would have hit Kano. Banning Shunt is not how I would have hit Warrior, but there's nothing on this list that I see and say, whoa, that's a miss, or whoa, that's out of nowhere. I think people have been asking for a Sirens of Safe Harbor ban since like
The beginning
it was
of the format.
Project Blue.
Yeah.
Like that needed to go for sure.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the Sirens ban, but I think there's some cards that really dodged a bullet that shouldn't have.
Spindle to me makes sense if you're looking at it from the scope of like, how do we stop the Kano turn of like, cool, op 5, top 5, here's more damage, and also future proofing because Blaze is coming to CC. And like an unblocked Spindle is like, here's 5 counters on Blaze.
I guess.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That makes sense there. I still
Kano's still real strong after that.
I don't think it like nerfs Kano to the point where like he's unplayable.
I don't even think he's that. You lost 2 cards basically, right? Like they're only running the red.
I think I think some of them are running blues just as like
Okay.
blues.
I could be wrong.
But yeah, like it does make me sad because it's one of my favorite wizard cards. I really like the effect. But I do get it. What I'm kind of shocked about is how they kind of just took Briar out behind the shed and executed her.
I don't know. Can you say that on the JARTCast?
Can you?
Why? Yeah, why wouldn't? Why can't
wouldn't
you
you
say
be
that?
able to?
Okay.
Yeah, I can say
Yeah,
that.
fair
I
enough.
can
You
do
can say
whatever I
that.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought that
That's
was
not illegal.
tempered. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
They
enough.
kind of like the deck. I don't think exists anymore.
Well, I still think
No.
there's a compelling reason to play it over KO now.
Yeah.
No, and I think so. Briar definitely needed to go. Like, if we look
Yeah.
at the 2 weeks of ProQuest results, like Briar is far and away the best deck. I mean, week 1 she took 50 wins. Week 2, I don't think she took quite so many, but she was over 33% of all wins was Briar. So she was definitely a problem, and something needed to happen. I think where I've seen the most discontent in how Briar was handled that I agree with is Lightning Press doesn't just hit Briar, and Braces of Belief doesn't just hit Briar. So this feels very much like Lightning as a type is dead,
Well,
where
you're gonna get a
Aurora
whole bunch
really
of new
needed
lightning
press,
cards.
and
How about that?
Lexi really needed press, and even Azalea like got use out of Braces of Belief. So it seems like a lot of collateral to hit Briar.
Were Lexi and Azalea running what was the other bullseye? Were they? No.
Lexi was on Bullseye,
Yeah.
for sure. And some are like
Some
I think
Azalea maybe.
Azalea would always be playing Bullseye, at least in the sideboard, because it's AB. So
That's fair. I mean I don't know how. So like you're losing, I guess, like +1, I guess, which is something.
You're losing the +1 for Lexi. I think for Azalea, it was where you're losing the opt.
Yeah.
Azalea really got mileage out of just looking at the top card of her deck before she does a blind flip, especially on turn 0 when they don't present the dominate boots. And you could make the argument that that's problematic in its own right, but feels like as far as hitting Briar, Braces of Belief really wasn't the problem.
Mhm.
And the more that I would play Sage with Terra, or especially with Great Axe, which I always thought was weird, Briars to me would present Beckoning Haunt.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even playing, and I would have thought they would play Bracers of Belief and try to race me down, like make sure the burn up connects. But they were just playing it to stay alive longer.
I don't think Bracers is like, I don't know. I feel like Briar does have other options. I feel like Lightning Press and Up are 2 big hits though.
Yeah.
Like those 2 she's definitely gonna.
yeah, well, because I think a lot of I would see this occasionally where Briar would also play the gloves to recur back a Malefic,
Mhm.
which is like still really good because it's when they chip you for like 1 arcane at a time, it's really hard to block that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's talk about, I guess, unbans. So they unbanned Amulet Device,
Mhm.
Rake the Embers, and Rootbound Carapace. I've seen some concern expressed that they essentially made Stack Florian a deck again.
Mhm.
I'm still not super like. I feel like your KO matchup's still pretty rough, but I guess there maybe some space to explore.
That's a matchup I would want to test for Sage because on the one hand, I think KO clearly came out of this as the dominant aggro deck. But if we're looking at CC, KO had a terrible Florian matchup. And part of that is Florian had Barskin of the Millennium Tree, Felling of the Crown, and Face Purgatory, none of which exists in Sage, but KO also doesn't have Blood Rush Bellow. So I think there's definitely a non-zero chance that Florian can just outlast the KO, decompose, make enough rune chance that now KO has to deal with it. Like if Florian can live long enough and maybe stack 25 rune chance, then KO has a problem.
That's kind of fair. I think my bias, I guess, is that deck runs a lot of 2 blocks. Like
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
they're on like they're on like rainbow reduce often, so like they'll be running like the blue reduce. They'll run like a lot of the aura like generation stuff is like also kind of too blocky. So I don't know, maybe it won't actually be like it'll be end up being pretty good for Florian, but I do think they have to like maybe change the deck a bit to
Yeah.
block a bit better or something.
It definitely it creates a deck where there wasn't one before, and that's fine. It gives like Rootbound existing gives non-Terra Earth players something to do.
Mhm.
Like Florian wasn't a real deck, and Verdance definitely wasn't a real deck. So this revitalizes those heroes. But I think where I've seen the most discontent about it is Stack Flooring creates a lot of 0% matchups. Like
Yeah.
if you're a KO, yeah, you can maybe punch through, but if you're something that does less damage than that, say you still want to play Briar for some reason, you're probably never beating Florian because you're never going to get through the defense that comes from a hero that can play on the horizon 6 copies of Rootbound Carapace, 6 copies of Reduced to Rune Chant, if you wanted to, 6 copies of Sigil of Suffering. Like Florian can just put a shit ton of D reacts in the deck and also do incremental arcane damage.
Yeah.
So that deck, I think, I don't know. It's weird to want to support that deck, but it does make sense to like not just like kind of
Mhm.
yes. But I think Break the Embers is also like a pretty good unban. I know that Jeremiah has kind of struggles into Guardians, and then also as well, which I don't think this is really helping with.
I mean, it does give her more ash wings, which like she kind of still needs. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's I feel like the deck is just not there in Silver Age, so this is like an attempt of like, yeah, you can
Bump it up a
like
little.
let's try and get that deck to exist a little bit more than not at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it helps her, and I'm looking to as far as the Dromai matchup goes, sort of interesting because as far as the KO matchup goes, it depends on the KO's list, but he doesn't have as many true poppers. Like he is running a lot of the non-blocks and Bare Fangs and Wild Ride, just lost Sirens of Safe Harbor, playing a lot of like Yellow Clash of Might. He's got all of the blues that aren't real poppers, so he might end up struggling a bit into early Rake the Embers. I don't think it's going to be like super free for him. And if the Dromais can figure out how to make Haboob work, then it's really not free for him.
Sure, that's fair.
Uh,
I guess we
And
also
then
didn't talk about Amulet.
yeah, Amulet. You want to talk about Amulet?
I don't think it helps Iceland or
I don't know. I think it seems like
it's like an interesting tech card, I guess, but like
I like that it exists.
mhm.
Yeah.
yes.
And I was really hoping that there's this new set would maybe offer Icelander some additional support. I mean, it still could, but like we'll see.
It definitely gives her options where there wasn't an option before, so it can only help her. But if we're looking at how it worked with CC, I mean, it really doesn't solve the Icelander problem of not having Waning Moon,
Yeah.
which is how
Sure.
she was so good in CC. Like a lot of her power came from not just playing from Arsenal, but then hitting you for 3. The card that she drew from Cold Snap, or just turning an Amulet of Ice into 3 damage with another card. She doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not having Waning Moon sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty
One thing I thought was really interesting, and maybe interesting isn't the right word depending on who you ask. But they're instead of doing like a thorough deep dive, here's what the rationale behind the ban was. Um, it says bans will simply be presented, and we will look forward to watching you all engage with the new puzzle for Silver Age.
This
Um,
sucks.
Yeah,
Hate it.
I'm not crazy.
This is a
about it.
really bad. I hate this take so much. Yeah, I
don't
think
get
this
it.
is. I understand where they're coming from if they want it to be like a challenge for us, but I think in them not talking about their rationale for the format and then not having a goal or a vision that they're sharing with us, I think it only leads to worse games and a worse format. That if this was something that we would just play at Skirmish and at Armory, that's fine. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. You know what? Cool. We can
Yes.
just have fun little puzzles to solve and we can make degenerate decks. But if this is a Pro Tour format, if this is a calling format, which it is for the year, I have a lot more issue with it. I think that's something we should be able to understand and have a dialogue around, and they should be able to share their goals with us, and we should really have some measured data we can work on.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
not having this data and having like a real vision for it is preventing the format from being something better than we currently have.
Yeah, because to me, like,
Some of these bans are a little self-evident to me, at least.
I mean, for sure, but so I guess like to me, like,
it's more the lack of cards on the.
if the car, if this is supposed to be like, his people say like, oh, it's casual, right? Because it's inexpensive, because it's rares and commons, but it's not, right? It's inexpensive.
Mhm.
If this is a thing that you can expect to play at a calling or at the Pro Tour or at Worlds, it's not casual, right?
No.
Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be like approaching this from like, I'm just gonna make some jank, and
Yeah.
especially if you want to win, right? And I think a lot of people who play Fab, in fact, just because of the way the game is like marketed, I think most of the people who are like into the game are
Fairly competitive.
fairly competitive.
Yeah.
Like they're not coming at it from the I just want to put jank in some sleeves and go to Armory and see what happens. So to me, this is kind of disappointing because it feels like trying to have like the cake of like, yeah, we want this to be a real format that's like going to be on like the Pro Tour circuit and all of that, but also it's still casual because it's like inexpensive.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to just not have it be casual. You can play this casually, right? But like let the people
Balance it competitively.
balance it competitively, explain the rationale for it, and then let the people who are playing it casually just do kind of what they want. Like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to cater to them because they're gonna find their own fun, right? So that's
Mhm.
kind of like, to me it's strange. I'm not like crazy about this. I also love to hear rationale on like what they think, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, at least from like what their thought process
Yeah.
is.
Like there's like the tone ban, right? Like I hate to retread this again, right? Um like they put like there was a huge write-up on
Mhm.
why each of those cards is banned, right? And it's like I don't agree with like Tome of Aetherwind specifically, but they actually did go and say like, yeah, here is why, right? Like
Yeah.
here's the rationale for it. So like if that same thing happens with Silver Age and it's like, well, this is banned, like you're not getting the same like, yeah, here's the reason why. So like it's kind of like, oh yeah, make up your own interpretation, which I'm not crazy about.
And I don't think I have a problem with the ban list. I think more so it's the lack of the ban lists that are.
What do you want banned? Is it beaten trackers?
I'm not gonna say it's not beaten track.
I mean, there's the elephant in the room of there's a lot of cards here that I want banned that are in the precons. I think
Mhm.
that's just like because when you make good precons,
Yeah.
there are cards that should be banned in them, and they did a good job making good precons. I will give them that. They did a very good job, but a lot of these precons or a lot of these cards that are in precons are problematic. Sigil of Suffering is a card that shouldn't exist.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
I think that's one. I don't think anyone has said actually no. I think Sigil of Suffering is balanced and good for the format. I've never
There's
heard
someone.
somebody say that.
I'm sure there's someone.
There's
Uh,
always a guy.
There's always one guy.
It's always kind of fine from Terra. They play Sigil against me, I don't care.
Oh, so okay, so one thing that's like strange, or not strange, but like the precons themselves are interesting because it's like we're making a bunch of precons for all these heroes.
Mhm.
Like I feel like they need to at some point address like we might have to ban something in a precon. Like what do we do? Because they've done it once with the was it LL Viscerai Armory deck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was necessarily handled as well as it could have been. Especially because they like unrestricted Deadwood Dirge in order to like make it so that deck list was like that armory deck was legal right out of the box, but then it kind
Mhm.
of messed up the format. Um, I think that if I think that they're going to have to kind of like eventually cross the bridge of we need to just say like, hey, it's a $20 precon and the card's like 10 cents, just swap it out or something.
I
Um,
think it's fine for them not to do like it's Fine for them to totally leave precons alone, but it goes back to what Rob said and what we all agreed with is it can't be a tier 4 format if that's the line you take. Because I get it from a logistic standpoint. Both answers suck. The answer of you're a new player, you buy, you give your $20, you get your precon, and then are immediately told you need to swap these, however many cards are in it. Let's look at K. We need to swap beaten trackers because it's banned. Or the shop owner now needs to know that when a new player comes in, and your LGS owner needs to say, hey, you want to buy a functional deck, don't buy this one, buy this one instead. Like, that sucks.
I think
And then
there's
the
an easy.
other answer of saying, like, leave the 55 cards. If you present 55 cards, the exact precon, that is legal to play. That sucks because then someone, opens their pack that comes in the $20 box, and they open, I don't know, whatever cool KO card they want to play with. Well, now they can't put that in their deck because then their 54 remaining cards aren't legal anymore. Either way sucks, but then don't make it a tier 4 format.
So, what's interesting there is like, so CC has the same problem, right, with armory decks. You know this pretty well, Mr. Fiasco. Your favorite hero, right? Your Aurora.
Yeah.
She got an armory deck, and there are cards in that armory deck that, like what was the Skyward Serenade?
Skyward Serenade.
That card
specifically.
shouldn't have existed, especially because it was a misprint, right?
Yeah.
And like a functional, like we made the card was printed wrong, right?
Yes.
So they either say like, but instead of going like, okay, that card is printed wrong, here's the correct verbiage, or just saying like we need to ban this or something, like they essentially had the hero speed.
Let it ride.
Yeah, they're like,
Mhm.
let's see how this goes, and she rode the lightning into Living Legend. And Gravy has the same issue, right? Where it's like, okay, we're banning Tipple. What color of Tipple would get banned from Gravy Bones? I'd probably be like, well, blue for sure, because it enables like the play of like play it out. You're able to play out ally immediately. With the other ones, you at least just get gold. But then the ones that were banned were the ones not in the armory deck, right? So it feels like even in CC, you have this issue of like, well, we can't ban certain cards because they're
Mhm.
pre-constructed products. And I don't think LSS, I think they want to like tiptoe around this as much as they possibly can until they literally can't anymore. And I'm very curious as to when that's going to happen, because it's going to happen, right?
I mean, it's already happened.
It's already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened.
It's already happened, and it didn't go well, and it's going to happen again. And it's good that they're doing precons, especially because it gets people into the game.
Mhm.
But like, it will be bad if they don't eventually say like, okay, we're gonna have to take some action, right? And I think that ultimately the experience of you buy the product at like a casual armory night or whatever, and you get to play with it, and someone says, hey, that card is banned. Oh, well, you're a new player, that's fine. Just in the future, so you know, like
Mhm.
that's probably better than letting like beaten trackers exist in the format forever because it's in this
Yeah.
precon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one person, that new player, uh, it'll be like, oh, okay, and it'll be forgotten about, and they're not going to quit over that. But yeah, if like a card is around forever and it's just wrecking a format at tier 4, like, oh my god, that's so much worse.
I guess maybe what I'd like to have happen, just thinking about it now, is that with Silver Age existing and there being precons and that sort of being their way to on ramp new players into the game, that we can start banning cards from the CC precons because the new players will have a place to go. I mean, that brings us back to, well, then Sage probably shouldn't be a tier 4 format, but it at least keeps CC safe. And I mean, unless Sage really pops off, I think CC is going to be the flagship format for quite a
Yeah,
while.
it should be.
I mean, I still think Sage is like pretty fun for people. Seems like
Yeah.
people were having a good time, at least since Diego.
I mean,
The format was a
my,
little goofy.
my armories have like popped off because of Sage. Like, I love Silver Age as a format. It's not my favorite competitive format to play, but it's a really good format for the game, and I'm really happy it exists.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gangbusters locally.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so I think like overall, I'd say that these bans are a good step in the right direction. Maybe just I think the biggest issue is maybe just like we need. I think there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, we've got Yokohama coming up, and this BNR will affect Yokohama, so I don't expect to see many people bringing decks that aren't KO or Kano.
Yeah.
But we also, he's following that, and I guess following Skirmish Season 2, we do have the benchings, which are going to fix a lot of this. Like, if KO and Kano are just 90% of the room in Yokohama, those heroes are gone in Season 2. We don't have those heroes anymore.
Yep.
So that is definitely a balancing act. We're just not seeing it right now, and it's not going to impact the upcoming Tier 4 event.
Yeah. I hope when Chain comes back, they have a heavier hand than they did in this ban list.
They're going to ban Read the Runes,
Oh yeah,
and Chain will be fine, and the other Rune Blades will be unplayable.
for sure. So I guess maybe here's the question, but like, what is your meta prediction after this ban list? Like KO and Kano, I think we mentioned. Stack Florian maybe on the rise. Enigma also. I don't know how Enigma really fares.
I've been hearing I've been hearing stirrings that Enigma just is dead because Dromai got Rake, and like Dromai will just dumpster Enigma.
Yeah.
And I think
That
that's
makes sense.
pretty reasonable. So we could end up in this like kind of meta triangle with Kano as the outlier. Kano just has game to everyone, but now we have the uh KO Dromai Ira triangle of like KO beats Ira beats Dromai, maybe Dromai beats KO. I think it's reasonable to think that she might. And Kano is just good. But Ninja, if we are moving into an illusionist meta, Ninja definitely gets better.
And then we also have Terra who beats everyone.
That's right.
True.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I would say I think Guardian gets a huge win actually out of this ban. I think Guardian lined up really well into KO, especially Valda. Was I think the deck that has his number more than any other in the format. With Great Axe taking a step down with Shunt, I think it gets a lot better for Guardian. They can play unmovables, but that's a lot more costly for them, and it's a lot more awkward for them to play around. The one pitch was actually really good, so it allowed them to pitch deck. I think Guardian has a really good shot in the Warriors now, and I think it's great into KO. And if Dromai steps up and takes over Enigma's spot, I think a good Guardian player will crush Dromai in this format. So I think your only really bad matchup is Kano,
You know.
which is not a great place to be, but it's still like,
Yeah.
you get some other good matchups.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is honestly Kano. Like it feels like the good Kanos, just like we're dealing with the KOs regardless. It felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I have to play it, I'll play Kano because I don't know.
Yeah.
The long short of it is it's a cool format. I'm glad it exists, but it's still not super appealing to me.
Yeah. 18 health Kano is pretty appealing.
I mean, yeah, but like that's not why Kano's fun.
Okay. Fair
Kano's fun because of like Ragamuffins. I don't know. I'll probably play when Blaze comes out for sure. Like Blaze, I did not have enough time with her playing Blitz, and I feel like I missed out a lot. So I'll definitely get into it. Like if she's playable and not just like complete dog water. Like yeah, I'll definitely play some Blaze and Silver Age, but yeah, especially with like PQ Season 4 Silver Age winding down, and like I don't know. I'm not going to any Silver Age anytime soon. So
No, I'll play a skirmish at some point and probably bring KO or Terra, one of the two. Probably be Terra. I'm playing a cold foil Terra this weekend.
I think Terra's actually but
so yeah, so that I think is a nice transition into talking about Classic Constructed. And we just had a big tournament calling Montreal where the finals was Dash.io versus Vincent, which is not something that I don't think that's a sentence anyone's ever said before, calling Montreal, but yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, very cool top 8. Yeah, June piloting Vincent like incredibly well. Even at the end, unfortunately didn't get there, but like so I think that deck like is probably like
That deck's real.
Yeah, that deck is real, and I think that I've seen a lot of people trying to source calls from various places.
That deck is real, and I will be completely honest, that deck is probably a lot harder to play than people think it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, at
Yeah,
100%. I have
It's
run
such a
into
cool
so
deck.
many bin sets on
cool.
Talishar that just do nothing and die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think unless you know someone at your PQs who's like a Vincent diehard, if they're just picking up the deck, I don't know how worried you should be
Yeah.
Mhm.
because the deck is actually difficult. Not a lot of decks that we'll say are difficult are as difficult, but I think especially this Vincent is like real. There was multiple turns, especially in that KO game, where I saw like just June sitting there like this, like trying to figure, like going like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know what the
Mhm.
best line here is. Um, so yeah, like, but that deck was like super sick to see.
The Dash IO deck also doing Dash IO thing.
Yeah.
Like super. I don't know. I think that Dash IO deck was just kind of like
You got the new Teklo Trebuchet
Trebuchet,
2000.
Yeah.
which I guess is just better blue 0 to 60.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, it got a few things.
I mean,
At least that.
Connor's been playing Dio for, I think, since she came out. Like Connor Bryant is a Dash IO diehard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another deck that where if you just like grab his list, load it up on Talishar, cut down to 60 cards, whatever you think the bad cards are, you're going to suck and you're going to die. Like Dio is not nearly as hard as Finset, and I think a lot of the Dio lines will play themselves, especially into aggressive mirrors. But once you run into a Guardian, that is a very hard deck to pilot optimally.
Mhm.
And even some of the aggro mirrors, like you sit down against a Syndra and you draw 3 items and a blue 0 to 60, and you're like, I don't know how to pilot my way through this. I mean, in the finals game, Connor went second and his opening hand had 3 items in it, and he had to pilot his way through it.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Overall, I think the meta, like calling Montreal, I feel like was pretty wide open.
The top 8 was really interesting,
Yeah.
especially
Mhm.
after what feels like 6 months of Verdance, Gravy,
Marionette.
Syndra / Marionette. Seeing a top 8 where there's no Verdance, there's no Gravy, and there are
There's,
no Syndras or Marionettes.
Well, I think there was one Marionette, wasn't there?
No, I don't
Oh.
think
No,
so. There's
Marionette
2
didn't make top
Acilios,
8.
Ira, Phi, KO, Dory, Vincent, and Dash.
Oh wow.
So it was an entirely fresh group. Well, not fresh. Like they're all like kind of older heroes at this
They've
point.
been around for a while.
Yeah, like they're like, especially like Phi hasn't seen a top 8 at something like this in a while, right? So yeah, it's neat seeing a bunch of like decks that maybe were lagging behind during High Seas Super Slam era, like kind of just starting to rise up a bit. Speaking of like the I guess the usual suspects, Arachne Marionette still did fairly well.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Gravy also did okay. He had like a 25% conversion rate, which like if you said like, oh yeah, how do you think Gravy's gonna do it? Probably, well, with the Cilio, not very good. But yeah, like the numbers of that deck are still pretty good apparently. So
I feel like Gravy, a lot of people are dooming on Gravy, and I think it's more that Gravy has a lot of bad matchups floating around the top of the meta. Like Acilio just got Temporal Wobble, and it was already bad for Gravy. If Phi is coming up, that's bad for Gravy. Dash IO, I think, has a good Gravy matchup.
Dash
The
is a
Gravy
bad
talk
Gravy
about
matchup.
Is it
is it
bad?
a bad
It's
Gravy
bad.
matchup?
Yeah, so you block super well, right? And
Mhm.
you've chum. So like one thing you can
Okay.
do is if they attack into you and they're like boom grenade, you can go like, cool, now I'm gonna chum. Because they don't want to attack into chum. So you can kind of essentially just like nullify multiple cards from hand. Because they usually, unless it's like a throttle, they don't have a ton of things that your chum, right? So
Mhm.
or in one hit. But
No,
yeah,
Dash IO apparently. Oh, okay, I guess there's only matches. So
yeah, there's only 3 matches.
none of
I have found it to be like a pretty decent matchup for me. Like
I
Gravy.
see the issue. So I'm looking at Gravy's matchup spread for Montreal as far as like what his win percentages were. Going 1 and 5 against Marionette, and even going 3 and 4 against KO. Like those are 2 very highly represented decks.
Mhm.
If you're winning 1 game out of 6 against Marionette, Yeah, that's a bad deck.
Yeah, that's rough.
You should not be playing that deck.
I think we also got a really big hate piece for Gravy. If a deck wants to hate Gravy now, they can.
Yeah.
Pilfer the Tomb is brutal.
Mhm.
That's a card that you can just play. I think it's better than Midas Touch if you're just trying to hate Gravy out. Being able to just take out a Whaler if you're like trying to go for the hard fatigue plan and just say, that Whaler you've been like waiting on and like looking for your double Whaler swing turn. I'm just gonna like remove that and you can't interact with that in any way.
Mhm.
Is brutal. Or even if they like just set up a turn to go like blue into Rigor, and they like play their shitty blue, and you go cool, Pilfer the Tomb your Rigor, and then just go, oh, all right, pass. Like there's just like a lot of like ways you can interact with them now. Like if you want to, and if you want to hate them out of the game, you have tools.
Yeah. I think that's true.
So
I also think that people are overly down on the deck.
probably.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like people who are essentially like doing about a deck that like at its core, it still has like just very good numbers, right? Like
Mhm.
and sometimes that's all you need. Yeah, and like I don't know. I'm probably going to be on Gravy because I don't want to put together Marionette, which is what I would probably put together if I had all the cards for it, but I don't. Like, we have more cards for Acilio. I ain't playing Acilio. I won't do it. You can't make me. I refuse. But yeah, it was a super interesting tournament. Is what I'll say. Tao Tao did quite well with Arachne Huntsman as well. This is a real deck. It's real if you're very good at the deck, as you can see by the win rates here, right? Like Tao Tao playing Arachne Huntsman is going to be different than like someone just picking up the deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think calling Montreal was super interesting to see.
Yeah, I still think like the biggest probably like meta, like especially at the Pro Quest level or the Pro Quest level, like the biggest decks that I kind of envision still are just like KO, Acilio, and then like Marionette are the three, at least
Yeah.
locally.
I think those are like if you're building for a triangle, that's the triangle I would build for this week.
Yeah.
KO will leave and that'll change like very soon. But like even if we like go down the lists, I think there's a lot of really interesting decks that showed up that I didn't think would show up. The big surprise for me this weekend was Valda. I think Valda like showed up. We saw her on camera. She rolled over Akatsu. Like it was not a close game.
Yeah.
And she like has game into these top ones. She lost a couple really close games at the end, and like that stopped her from making top 8. But it's like that's like we have Vault at 18, Vault at 20. We have Riptide at 19. Like these are decks that like have not touched a top table in God knows how long or like ever. And now they're just a game win or two, drawing the right hand at the right time from making top 8. Like these are all like impactful and powerful things that are just just around the corner.
Shout out to the Marlin crew as well. We didn't get there that tournament, but we're working on it.
What I find interesting is like looking at what decks didn't do super well and weren't even very highly represented. Is like Petite Pleiades was like the kind of breakout deck during RTNs, if I remember correctly. And like there's 2 people who brought Pleiades at all to this tournament. So like it just was not represented, and it did not convert.
Which is actually surprising because they got by the book.
It is surprising.
Which you think would help like with a lot of like
there were more Teklo players than Pleiades players.
Shout out to the Tech.
Also, Puffin, right? If you told me that Puffin would have like kind of like petered out a bit, I would have been a little surprised, especially after like seeing that new Pirate Puffin in action. I was like, oh, this deck looks real, and like I'm kind of surprised it didn't put up better results. That could also just be variance, but yeah, like I don't know. I kind of expected more.
I think she's close. I think maybe she's
close,
a harder deck to figure out than just like in the first week or so of like play. But I think we'll see her.
I still kind of don't understand the Puffin versus Dio thing, but like maybe once Dio leaves, like base opening.
And boy, oh boy, can we not wait for that?
Yeah, but overall, I think the meta is pretty wide open.
It does. I always hate to call things a specialist meta. I feel like that term kind of died in heavy hitters
It's
for
also a
me.
cop out.
Yeah,
It is a
cop
cop
out.
out, but
Such a
if I'm
cop
just
out.
looking at what performed well as far as win rate in Montreal, at least above 50%, we've got Prism, Valda, Huntsman, Jarl, Dorinthia, Ira. A
And
lot of these
Vincent.
decks are piloted by, a lot of these wins are racked up by maybe one or two specific people, but it speaks to if you have been a Huntsman diehard, if you're Taylor Morrow and you've been a Huntsman diehard since the hero's release, now is your time. And it isn't just do you have game into the top of the meta, you might not. But if other Dark Horse decks have game into the top of the meta and you have game into them, then you're relying a little more on gem roulette, but you'll be better off than you would have been last meta where it was just if you can't beat Cinder of Verdance or Gravy, you're not going to win a
Yeah.
tournament.
It feels like the meta is surprisingly open. And
Yes.
yeah, which is both good and also kind of bad. Like I liked Misfit a lot because it was so like this is what it is, right? So it felt like okay, cool. Like I know what's going on and I know who's going to be there.
Mhm.
Metas like this where it's like, well, you could run in anything. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to run in anything. I want to like play against Zen as Kano specifically, and I want them to have no AB.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, super cool, especially seeing Vincent kind of just figured out, especially with that hero like for years now, and just like not being good. It's actually quite satisfying to see it like being piloted so well, and also like doing the powerful things that like Vincent players always said that they were doing, but like
Actually doing.
actually doing it and consistently doing it,
Yeah.
and not just like dying because their hands don't work anymore. So yeah, I think Vincent's finally like if she is not there, like she's close to the point where you can play her and it's fine.
She feels like she's hit that critical mass of good cards, and I've been worried about Dorinthia for a while. Dory felt like the hero that would just get a new pushed majestic every set, and it never mattered. And I always felt like eventually she's going to get enough of them that they just hit critical mass of, well, now she's just busted because she
Mhm.
gets to play 60 cracked majestics. And I think Vince had finally hit it, and it was Deep Recesses of Existence being
Yeah,
like,
that card's
this is
crazy.
the linchpin. This tied it all together. And you go online and you talk to people about their Vincent games, and the number of people I've had tell me, yeah, she called me 6 times. Like
That's
deep
dumb.
recesses. We got there. We did it.
Dory did get a new card, the Swordmaster Shine. Is that what the card's
Mhm.
called?
Yeah, the 3 for 5.
Yeah, having a new card to play around with, whatever that Iron Song.
How dare they change the Dory combat math?
Yeah, they changed the Dory combat math again, which is fun.
It's been that way for 7 years.
Yeah.
This bullshit.
But that's
You
cool.
just don't block.
Just don't
That's
block.
been my approach to the Dory matchup, and it works well every time.
And
Yeah.
John, I'm assuming you're playing KO for one last wild ride.
I'm taking KO. Yeah, one last wild ride. I'm not sure what I'm going to play after KO LLs. I've got 2 more bullets after this weekend. I need to try Naib's Phi list. Big combo, which is not how I was trying to build Phi, but it makes sense. I just feel really bad putting Enflame in my deck because that card sucks and has sucked for a long time. Also, I'm not naive. I've tried to pilot the list, and
That guy's built different.
He's built different.
He is.
once I look at it, I'm like, why is there a yellow wax on? What are you for? Like,
I've seen that guy when I see his deck list. I'm just like, okay,
I believe you.
Yeah.
sure. Like I don't know, I don't understand it at all.
no.
Yeah,
Why, I mean, it's a top 8 deck. Phi is a top 8 hero in a recent calling. I cannot dispute this, but I don't get the same results when I play it. So maybe not Phi. I don't know what I'm going to play after KO, but for now, it's KO.
Rob, what are you playing?
I will be playing Valda this week. As long as KO exists, I think Valda has she showed out this weekend for a reason. I think she's pretty good right now. She's a deck that crushes aggro decks. I think she's maybe I don't know if anyone here listens to the Runaways podcast, but they actually titled their last episode that she's the best hero in Flesh and Blood currently. Because if you look at the Talishar results, she's on kind of a fucking tear. Um, she's at like a 58 or 60% win rate, and the matchups she wins, they're like 70%. Like she crushes matchups when she wins. You just want to dodge burdens, which is, no big deal. No one plays the hero anyway, so it's fine. But like she just beats a lot of matchups really well. Like you struggle into Teklo, but like you just win round one and you're fine.
Yeah.
So I think she has like a really good spread, and even when KO goes, I think she's still more than reasonable. She has like, she is favored into Acilio. Like I think that's a matchup I've tested and played a lot, where it's like you would think a Guardian would lose to Acilio like that, but she just like he draws enough where everything you play is free, and as long as your hand converts, you're kind of play like KO into him, where you're just aggressive, and you just send like, all right, here is Rouse and a Spinal, here's Terra Sunder on an Aftershock, here's a Pulverize. He doesn't have armor and he doesn't have a lot of life, so you can shed through him pretty quickly. And like once he's down to like single digits, like any hand can kill him because like half of his hand doesn't block. So it's much easier to kill him than you would think.
All this is pretty scary.
Aurora, what are you playing?
I'm playing Marlin.
I'm sorry.
Against my against my better judgment. Hey, Rob saw me on Talishar like dumpster huntsman. So
That's good.
True, you cooked him.
Yeah.
I'm playing Gravy. That's the deck that I have, so I'm gonna play the deck that I have. I don't want to build a new deck.
Pirate team.
Pirate R matey. Cool. Well, yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to transition into the next thing. Hi, welcome back. We're talking about the set that was just
Spoiled today.
Spoiled today. Brand new trailer. Also, this loop has like one frame of black in it, and see, it just did that. It just did that. I'm leaving this in the video. Anyway, LSS, you should double check your.
It could also just be
MP4.
OBS. Yeah, it might just be OBS.
All right. Anyway, we're doing Omens of the Third Age. This is the set that was just spoiled. We have some opinions, and you're going to hear two very different sides of the opinions on this.
Okay, so
we're running the gamut as far as how happy everyone is.
So let's start with the positive opinion. So
yeah, John, you should speak up.
Yeah, well, I think I'm also team positive opinions personally.
All right, so this is perfect. So it's like a 4-way draft set.
Yeah,
so,
4-way draft set.
Positive talent, you two, and then negative talent being reviled, revered. All right, revered.
Okay. I like the trailer. The trailer is pretty sweet. It's a very unique set. So we have all lightning heroes, Illusionist, Runeblade, and the Wizard. I think that a lot of people were kind of so I think Aurora wasn't a surprise because we kind of expected that coming for a bit now. But I think that since we're at Volthaven, I think a lot of people were expecting Ice, which may have just been like a miscommunication at some point. But I think like overall, I'm kind of excited about the Lightning. If they can get so historically, I think my biggest problem with the Lightning talent has been how linear the gameplay has felt. Like it doesn't feel like you're really making like a ton of like difficult decisions or trade-offs. You're kind of just like handling because the decks end up being fine. Like Cilio and I think Aurora both have that same problem. It looks like these new heroes maybe are going to be a little bit less consistent, or maybe they're going to have like some kind of like setup or something to that might make them a little bit more interesting in my eyes. So I think that if they can manage to make Lightning design a bit more intriguing, I think that could be a really positive thing.
All right, other team positive. John.
We got John's girl back.
John, tell us about how you feel about Aurora, the hero.
New Aurora.
Yeah.
My wife came home, which I feel fantastic about. She is a lightning rune blade. She is not an elemental rune blade with essence of lightning. None of these three heroes are elemental, which is interesting. And I didn't realize how many people needed a rules clarification that's intentional and elemental is not being eroded to work with these heroes. They do not have the elemental talent. So Aurora doesn't have Entwine Lightning, which was the best 0-for-4 go again card in her deck. I'm really interested to see how she plays. I think Aurora of JARTCast is correct that this is LSS's attempt to make Lightning slower and more intentional than just here's my 4 card 16 because everything is 4 go again,
Yeah.
or here's my Acilio combo just popping off. Like, not talking about Ziggy because Ziggy's a new thing. I don't have the illusionist brain. New Aurora, you could possibly just do Redline. I'm ignoring this hero text, but for how much lightning flow everything creates, I think you're not supposed to ignore it.
Yeah.
And Acilio, compared to current Acilio, whose hero power is free to do to the combo, this one you actually have to pitch. So if this one is engaging with the pitch zone, if both heroes are engaging with the pitch zone, that's new for Lightning. And I want to believe that that's LSS's intent of slow it down, let's make them more interesting. I always thought Aurora was interesting, but I understand why people disagreed. And I'm hoping that this new one does make me have to put blues in my deck.
I think that's my hope, is that this is less like the Hunted, where everything's very like red line, very solved. And it's a little bit more
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's a little bit more inconsistent. It's a little bit more like you actually have to kind of like make decisions with how you need to sequence your hand or something like that. Like I think it seems like the design space here is a lot more interesting than
Mhm.
previous Lightning.
I mean, if nothing else, even just looking at the problem lightning hero, Aurora, the fact that she is an elemental means that she can't play Flicker Wisp. And if she can't play Flicker Wisp, she has actual bad matchups. Like that was everyone's. There were a lot of complaints about Aurora, but one of the complaints was she has no bad matchups because you sit down with a fatigue deck, she'll just combo you and kill you. And she doesn't have that anymore. So she's going to have to work for it. And the fact that she has to work for it already means she has to do something new.
Yeah. I think these
Yep.
designs I think are cool. Um Historically, I think the lightning's probably my least favorite of the elemental talents, but I think that there's probably some interesting designs. It's interesting that they're all using these like lightning flow tokens. We have somewhere, let's see. Yeah, so lightning flow is just like a blank text token, which is
Mhm.
fascinating. I guess it will have some text in I guess the limited environment, because there's this like macro that gives things spell void. But it seems like it's kind of just like a charge, or no, it's almost like mark or like a charge counter, which is interesting. Um,
Yeah, it's I think it's supposed to be like fealty where it exists on the board. You can interact with it. If you play Summer's Fall or Scour or do anything involving aura tokens, you can interact with the lightning flow.
Mhm.
But my understanding based on what we've seen is you play your 0 for 4, it hits, you make a lightning flow. The lightning flow just exists until you use it, you sacrifice it to your hero ability or use it in some other way. And that's new. We've never had a textless token before.
yeah, it's pretty neat. And I think all of these require you to destroy a lightning flow token, so it's like it does feel like it's some kind of like counter or like a mark kind of effect. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
All right, team reviled.
well, okay, let's also talk about Ziggy, because I think Ziggy is
Ziggy.
also quite interesting. So, we got the first non-binary
That's
illusionist.
not non-binary illusionist. Yes.
Yes, that's true. Um, but yes, pretty cool design. I think that we're gonna have some auras. I'm very curious to see what is it hollow?
Hollow.
Is it hollow?
It turns them into Pokemon cards.
Okay, so
That's
yeah, we're gonna get like
Ooh.
Pokemon card foils. That's what that means. But yeah, another 40 health illusionist. So let's hope this one goes a little a little bit better. Um,
I'm like optimistic. I'll start out just saying looking at Ziggy, this seems a lot more. Just initially, this looks less frustrating to play into than Enigma. We can clip this and play this back to me as I'm like crashing out about this hero in 4 months and how this is ruining Flesh and Blood. But like this is caught like their hero ability is costly. Activating their weapon has a cost. There's not just like they're instants, but like there's not just go again stapled on everything. I like fragment a lot as a keyword. Um, there's just a lot of things that like this looks like we're really taking steps to fixing Illusionist. I'm not thrilled to see Ward coming back, but we will see if there are tools to help deal with Ward, or maybe there's a rule change where we can attack Ward cards. But
it
um,
it kind of seems like they're not attacking the auras, which maybe is
yes,
We don't know.
really good.
good.
yeah,
If they
that is a big difference. The auras, as far as we've seen so far, don't block, which Enigma's auras also didn't block, but coming from Pleiades, it isn't that all instants block anymore. And Ziggy does need to be interacting with their auras. So where Enigma would just drop a ward on the table and ask you to get through it, the one Majestic that we've seen spoiled so far, Stardust Strike, does do something when it leaves the arena, but Ziggy's text says, no, 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 I want to keep this. I want to be flickering this in and out. I want to bounce it and return it to the board. And if you're killing it, then you are actively stopping what Ziggy's trying to do. So it already Ziggy needs to care more about the board than Enigma did. And Ziggy needs to give cards from hand, and Ziggy needs to be making the lightning flow. Feels like a lot more moving pieces than Enigma had, and that's going to make Ziggy, hopefully, in the hands of most players, less powerful than Enigma was.
This is,
Also,
sorry.
Ziggy just not being a blue line hero base is probably good for what we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's probably they're probably the most interesting here from the set, just because I feel like I have a trauma response for Basilio and Aurora.
It's
So
not Volthaven at all, actually.
yeah, it's
It's
Nebulous
The
Rift.
Nebulous Rift.
Okay, I thought they referenced a bunch of Volthaven stuff when they're
They
doing it.
do reference Volthaven. I remember, like, in the marketing material, like, they very clearly do, like, in the trailer, they say Volthaven as well, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Um,
that might just be like maybe marketing confusion. Like I think that a lot of people were hyped for Ice, which is maybe something they're still working on.
Well, that's okay. So that's a good segue into Rob and
Yep.
I kind of.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Rob
We'll take the
Lockett.
back seat.
All right.
All right,
You two, you've had
I'm-
enough time talking.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
all-
it's time for us to complain. Boy, oh boy.
It's we've been too nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with a flaming hot take here. I will say that LSS, I feel like they broke their promise to players with the sets, and it's very frustrating for me as a player, as someone who really likes playing Ice heroes and Ice cards. Lexi has been gone for 800 something days. I think it's like 880, something like that. Icelander's been gone for like 830 days, something around there. And we know that Monarch 3 is our last set of the year. Unless there's like a hidden Lexi or a hidden Icelander in the set, it really feels like they broke their promise into like keeping these card pools that, like, while Verdance and Acilio have lived on, so Elemental Wizard is real, and like you could play some of your Elemental Wizard cards, but you haven't been able to play your Elemental Ranger cards for almost 3 years. And by the time the first set we could see Lexi coming back, or I mean, we could have Armory decks, but like, let's just say we don't have an Armory deck that brings back a hero. It'll be over 1,000 days. It'll be over 3 years since Lexi left. And as someone that likes playing Ranger, I like playing Ice cards. I have a lot of friends that love these heroes. It feels like LSS is upholding their promise of like, hey, you're gonna be able to play these cards. There's just so much of the card pool that's not allowed.
I'm intensely disappointed. Like, I thought about mincing words and saying like, oh, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna be completely frank. I'm like very disappointed. I really like Wizard, but I don't like Acilio at all. I think it's okay. Hold on. So I don't like Acilio. I don't think it plays like a wizard. So like for me, Rosetta was super disappointing, and so seeing them go back to Aria, but just lightning, which is like the stuff I hated from Rosetta, is like, oh no, like it's so upsetting. And seeing 2 fucking Acilios in CC before we get Adult Blaze, another Kano, or another Icelander is like suffocating. I'm so upset. Like I'm not excited about this set.
You can say it's polarizing.
It's polarizing. So I've also I have not seen a single person so far go like, I don't know. Like it seems like it's either people
either
like
really
yeah,
like this
lightning,
set,
or people like me and Rob who like I took a picture of me just lying face down on the floor earlier. Like it's just okay. I have the same exact issue I have with the set that I had with Hunted, right? And it's not as bad as Hunted, but because
I feel like it's too early to say if it's going to be like Hunted.
all right, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about
Yeah.
specifically is when Hunted came out, the set before it was Rosetta, and the set before it was Mistveil.
Mhm.
And if you remember one thing in common, or 2 things in common about Mistveil and Hunted, is that they were both Assassin Ninja X. And this feels the same level of like, really? Like, didn't we just do this as that to me? Of like, didn't we just have like the lightning set? Like, it's quite frustrating. And like I'm happy for you, John, that Aurora's back for you. Like I get it. Like Ellie, shouts out to you. I understand that you're happy. I'm not thrilled that she's back this soon, especially when like
I feel like we
she
expected
probably
more.
was in development. This was probably in development when the old Aurora was in CC, right? So like having two Auroras and two Acelios within CC in the same amount of time, and like there are heroes that it's like, well, I like Kano, and where's that guy? Like, I don't know. It's very frustrating.
I also want to say that like Lightning is arguably the strongest card pool, card talent in CC today.
Yes.
Cards like CLV, EMS. We watched Michael Hamilton play. I don't know, was it 15 or was it 14 Gone into
I think
Flashes
it was
in one
15.
game? Yeah. This talent pool is ridiculous. Like it is incredibly powerful. And we're like, what if we just have 250 cards that go with Lightning?
Yeah.
How
And
would, how would that feel?
it fucking buffs. So like in addition to here's a new Acilio, it buffs the old fucking Acilio. And I hate that guy. And I don't want to see that Acilio buffed. I want that Acilio to have fewer things. And this is the opposite of that. And I'm mad. I'm not happy about this.
And John, you were talking earlier about how you were excited to play your CF CLVs, and that's awesome. I'm glad you're excited to play them, but I don't think you're going to be able to because I think when you introduce this many lightning cards, CLV is beyond broken.
Yeah.
Like how many cards can you pitch to CLV now that makes it so easy? But also, you have an illusionist that could deal damage on both sides of the turn with CLV out in play. It's the same problem we had with Sigil of Suffering. There's just so many frustrating gameplay patterns that people will not like. I think cards like EMS, CLV, Gone in a Flash will probably have to die for like Lightning Sins, and like the cards that people love and will want to play will go. And like that, I think that makes it just like a worse experience for everybody who's excited about the set.
I cannot wait for the day we're gone in a flash. It's gone in a flash. Uh, I I think that that card has more than overstayed its welcome. I think that Greaves has more than overstayed its welcome. I can't stand Electromagnetic Somersault. A lot of these cards are cards that I think that the play patterns they already present are kind of toxic and not very enjoyable. Unless you're the person playing them, in which case they're probably great.
Yeah.
And so having a whole new set of new lightning cards, like if they don't get rid of some of these stupid cards, I'm gonna scream. Like I'm gonna be so mad. It's like gonna make me not want to play CC. So,
I wish I could disagree with you about any of what you said. It does feel amazing to play these cards.
yeah, like if you're playing it, it's fun. But I don't know. Like I
What
didn't expect it to be lightning. And just
I
like
didn't expect it to be mono lightning. I think you can have lightning and just add some other cards in there that like for card pools that need it. Like Ranger has the least amount of cards of any class besides Necro, which has been out for 6 months.
Yeah. Ranger is struggling.
Yeah,
Ranger is struggling.
I'm shocked. I'm like honestly
You're shocked?
shut up. I'm flabbergasted. I'm befuddled. I'm not no more puns. I'm completely flummoxed that we're getting like a lightning set and there's no Lexi. Like
Yeah.
like
I think like such a
like
we already
okay,
have there's also another lightning ranger in like that's been introduced in the stories.
yeah,
Even if we
Orion.
weren't to get Lexi back, yeah, we have Orion. Like we have another character that could put in. I don't understand why you couldn't just do Orion and Aurora and then Ziggy. Like I don't know why we need a Cilio. Like I think it would be fine if we had a ranger in here instead of a Cilio. But like, do we need a Cilio again?
Yeah, like to me, it's what's really upsetting is like, so I was hoping for Adult Blaze at some point in the near future, but I think at this point, Adult Blaze, if she's coming to CC at all, is going to be in an armory deck. Because to me, Acilio being a wizard in this set means that there's probably like a, okay, cool, we just did wizard. Let's do at least 4 or 5 new sets without having wizard in it because they already got touched on. And that's like not what I want to play. So it's like, okay, I'm not excited about that. And the wizards that I would be looking forward to are going to just be kind of like pushed back even further. Um, and yeah, like I thought also like, okay, cool, lightning and ice again would be great because it's like you can have lightning, you can have all the push stuff, you can have like the go again synergies and all that, but you get ice, right, to temper all this. Like you actually slow the meta down a little bit, make these aggro decks have to like just slow down and really like approach certain matchups with like a real methodical like play pattern to it, right? Where you can't just dump your hand. And I think that just putting lightning into CC without that is kind of just going to be like the opposite of like, yeah, you can just keep playing this. Like, I hope that it is a more like measured, thought out, like you're pitching, you're playing real cards, you're not just like dumping 0 for 4s. But like most of those cards are still going to be around. Like you're still going to have Skizix, you're still going to have Flittering Charge, you're still going to have Lightning Press and all these other cards. So like I'm not super convinced that you're not that it's going to be the case of like, oh yeah, you'll be able to just you're not going to be able to just play like Redline, right? Like there's also like
I
Storm Shard, right?
Yeah,
Like
this
it
card
cheats
is
on resources by destroying lightning flows. So
well, this card is just a redundant lightning press, so that
yeah.
makes me wonder like how I don't know, like why are you playing this card over lightning? It,
Yeah, and I don't think you need that effect 6 times.
so it's interesting to me.
I will say, if LSS is baiting us here, and there's 3 more ice heroes in the set, and this is just a masterful stroke,
There's
you got
not.
me. You boomed me.
Yeah, this
But
would be a
that's
very funny
hard
prank.
to think that.
Rob, I can't do it. I can't hope for something like that because like I just that would just make me like get my hopes up, and you know what, my hopes are here. Like you
I
can't see it because my hand's off frame, but
I
like
think the best we can hope for is what you said, Robin. We just get some bans on like Channel Lightning Valley. I really hope that Somersault doesn't leave because Somersault, I think, is the most fun lightning card. The website does say that Aurora is just as fun as I remember,
mm,
but now she is tempered by responsibility. So maybe the Aurora players have a responsibility to the rest of the player base, not just abuse Channel Lightning Valley with Sigil of Suffering and Zap Clappers. What
I
I
also just like
like about Lightning, what attracted me to Aurora originally is she felt like the Go Again Ninja, but you had to work a little harder, and for working a little harder, you got to send 0 for 4s instead of 0 for 3s. And I think in saying that, a lot of people will say, "Well, you didn't work harder. You just played Lightning Surge from Arsenal or fused Entwine Lightning or played a Channel Lightning Valley and turned your 0 for 4 into 2 0 for 4s." And that's all true. So I would like it to me, I guess what I'm saying is, LSS, please ban some of the impressive lightning cards so that we get to play Aurora longer
Yeah,
because she's fun. Like, I don't mind having to work for my 0 for 4s with Go Again if it means that my hero sticks around for more than 6 months.
I also just think like EMS is like a card that shouldn't exist in Lightning because it's like you get to block 6 for 1 card as a deck that shouldn't be blocking well. That feels kind of insane.
What I will say about EMS is if they ban new Aurora can't play the elemental cards, and the elemental cards, besides Gone in a Flash, are what blocked for 3. Lightning
Mhm.
cards traditionally either don't block because they're instants, or they block 2 because they are lightning. They are talented. Usually, the talented elemental cards don't block 3 unless you're Earth, and fuck you. So if she can't play elemental cards, then she's either playing lightning cards that block 2 or blue lightning cards that block 3, but now you're having to put blues in your deck. I'm hoping that her not being elemental means that she has to play a different style of deck, or at least change how she's doing redline aggro, and maybe that makes EMS okay. I just love EMS so much.
sorry
It
for
it
laughing because I just you said now you have to put blues in your deck, and I just got the mental image of like an Aurora player going, like, "Oh, are you
No,
kidding me?
I have to
Like,
put blues in my deck.
like, oh my god, no!"
So when I was in London for the Pro Tour and I'm playing Aurora, at one point in the weekend, Mercy Bickle comes up to me and says, "Are you playing Redline Aurora? Like, do you not have blues in your deck?" And I said, "Why would I want to put blues in my aggro deck?" There were Aurora players out there who were playing blues, and Mercy's team did much better than I did. So maybe there was definitely something to be said for pitching. But I mean, my favorite style of Aurora was not playing blues and just doing here's my 4 card 16 every turn. Sometimes I pitch to Starfall because it keeps Channel Lightning Valley around.
I'm gonna come right out and say it, Acilio, for Continuum. I'm not gonna enjoy it. Not even gonna try it.
You don't know that.
I
You
I
could
know
try.
that. I guess like a slight positive is I do think Ziggy's kind of interesting. It being like a flicker thing is kind of neat.
Yeah, Astral Slide.
I think
Yeah.
flickering is probably the coolest part of
Flickering's
lightning.
interesting. I also like that they have like an orb that does waning moon damage, which okay, I'm sure some people are gonna be upset about that, but like whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like if Ziggy's good, maybe I'll play them, but I'm not like thrilled.
What
I think they could be cool.
what makes me laugh about Ziggy is you look at the hero text and like I look at what the hero is doing and I'm immediately reminded of Pleiades. And that makes me think of how Pleiades came out. And when everyone thought she was good, they were calling her like Pleiades, the guardian wizard illusionist. And it's funny that now Ziggy is an illusionist who does wizard things. Like that they had to fix Pleiades by just making her what everyone thought she was going to be, a wizard illusionist.
Waning Orb looks cool.
Waning
But she's
Orb
doing
looks
it.
cool.
Ziggy's doing they're doing the flicker thing. They're spinning their wheels. They're doing damage. Maybe they're drawing cards. Like if you like Storm, if you like Prowess, you're probably gonna like Ziggy.
You don't know
I
that.
don't know.
you
I feel
don't
like
know.
Prowess and Storm are like Acilio things.
Yeah, Prowess and Storm seem like a Cilio.
It's,
Because
I hate it.
like Storm is literally Volzar. Volzar has Storm on it.
Volzar's not like Volzar sucks. I hate that card. They should ban that card. They'd kick ass. It's still a little early to tell. We don't have all the cards spoiled. Ziggy is getting an armory deck as well, which will be interesting. Hopefully it's not as crazy powerful as Gravy Bones out of the gate. But I'd like Ziggy to be a little bit better than Pleiades as like the tie-in armory deck, because I feel like Pleiades was like overall underwhelming. But and I could be wrong. This could be a great set. I'm excited to play limited again, I guess. Like I do like limited.
I'll
But,
echo that sentiment. I'm also a huge fan of limited and excited we're drafting.
but yeah, Rob and I are kind of like
I think
we're
the draft
less than-
environment's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
If this feels like MST draft, which it very well could be, I'm stoked and I'm
It's
excited to draft. But not doing ice and like just doing just lightning feels like such a misstep, and it feels like such an unforced error.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm disappointed.
The lightning enjoyers are really going to like this set, but
Yeah.
I feel like most people, I don't know.
You made a joke about it being polarizing, but it is literally
Yeah.
polarizing.
Yeah,
Like
like this is either your favorite talent or like nothing.
yeah, like
to you.
like I've yet to see an opinion about this set that is just kind of like, oh, it seems all right. Like
I'm kind of leaning that or a little bit more. Like I don't love lightning, but I think they could do something interesting.
also the flickering thing is not an OBS thing. It's actually on the site. Check it out. Look on OBS. None of the rest of it flickered. So
Interesting.
yeah, so LSS, you should make sure this MP4 lines up all the way or something.
Yeah.
Because that's weird that it's doing that.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to see more of it. Is what I would say.
Yes.
I will also be the one to bring this up, and it's not my favorite thing to bring up, but this set also comes with a price increase.
This is
And they're
true.
kind of sneaking it in after Pen, where it was like 140, 145. And now we're like, oh, we're reducing it down to 130. But it's like, really, Super Slam was 120. And now this is 130. So it's like, it looks like it's a reduction, but it's actually just like a $10 increase in boxes, which sucks.
Oh, they added Majestic. At first, it didn't have this bullet point. I was like, oh, there's just no Majestics in this. Yeah, the $10 price increase is rough. Everything is getting more expensive all the time, which is rough. I hope the Fabled's a landmark. That'd be kind of sick.
I think the Fable should be whatever the Crystal Castle they're like going to, whatever
Yeah.
it's called. It has
Yeah,
a
the
name. Hold on, let me find it.
Nebula's Shrine. What is it?
Nebula's
Nebulous Rift.
Nebula.
Art
Oh.
Keep or something like that.
Yeah, or Keep. That seems like a cool landmark to go to, and like
I'm
we've had so many playable Fables lately. I think it would I'd like a break.
I'm hoping
But in
it's
reality,
not
it's
a
going to be a thing
lightning
that pitches
gem.
for a lightning flow.
If it's a lightning gem that makes a lightning flow and it costs $400, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip
You
out.
don't play Lightning anyway, so why would you
Yeah,
care?
you don't care.
I don't care. Oh, yeah, I don't care. I'll just go do something else. I'll get really into like crochet or something instead of playing Omens.
Hey,
All
Slay the
right.
Spire comes out this week.
Slay Spire.
Slay the Spire 2, yeah. Catch me playing Slay the Spire 2.
I think it's gonna be. I think people are having a little bit of backlash to more lightning, which is valid.
Mhm.
But I think maybe let's just see what happens over the next like couple spoiler months.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can do, right? Is just kind of wait and see. But yeah, I will be honest, there is a sour taste in my mouth, and it's not just from my coffee. Like I do kind of feel a little bit burned on Omens of the Third Age in terms of like what I was expecting versus what I got. Like it's kind of like it's like the one thing they could have done that it like Cora said that I was like not gonna be thrilled about. Like here it is. I was hoping Aurora would come back also with some ice or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having it be lightning's kind of like I'm not crazy about it. And I know you, Rob, are also kind of like very kind of not thrilled, to say the least, about mono lightning the set.
Yeah, they're doing interesting things in theory. Like from what the cards we've seen, these are different. It's a different way to play it. The illusionist cards look I like the new keyword. Like I think there's cool things to be had here, and the games will be fun, and draft will be fun. Like I know when I play the cards, I'll be happy, but God, I would love to have frostbites.
Yeah, frostbites are fun.
Please, LSS, give us some ice. Cold. Or I'm warm.
Yeah,
You're warm.
I'm not
yeah,
cold.
exactly.
I'm the opposite of cold. I need to chill out, and this is the opposite of that. Or, I mean, not really. I guess lightning's hot. Sorta, right? Anyway.
I try not to touch it too often.
Yeah, shouldn't touch it. Cool. Well, yeah. Anything else? I guess in our outline we have the word goodbye. So we're not gonna leave it as abrupt as that. Let's I guess Rob, do you have anything you want to plug before we take off?
Yeah, I've been working on Valda a little bit. I have my Patreon, OllinTogether, or patreon.com/OllinTogether. I have an updated list. I've been like working on maybe like a second iteration of that, based upon what I've seen at the calling this weekend. I will be trying to put out a video guide on Valda. I don't think it's going to make it out this week, but hopefully the following week. I will get something out for people on just YouTube, and then there's kind of more in-depth notes on Patreon.
Sick. John, how about you? Anything you want to plug?
When is this coming out? Do we know?
Hey.
It says in stores May 29th, which
No,
I'm
no,
assuming
I mean
this video will probably come out
video
later
is,
this week.
this video is coming out hopefully tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should be tomorrow.
I'm live streaming. I was planning to play KO on Thursday, and now I'm going to talk about Aurora for 2 hours because I'm super psyched that she's back. I'm going to look at where she was and maybe what she's going to become. Just live streaming, playing ProQuest this weekend, having to adjust to playing my green son before he leaves. And then just continuing to probably work on Fi and Aurora as we get spoilers because I'm super excited for my wife to be home.
The Lupinefiasco heads are eating good.
Yeah. Happy for you, bro. It's cool that you get your hero back. We would like to shout out Fab Foundry, who is our sponsor for most of our most for our videos. Do we have anything going on?
No, we don't.
We don't. We're doing a Marlin Council video.
We're doing a Marlin Council video
on Friday. So yeah, you can hear from who's going to be on it? It's you, Taylor, Nathan, Ben.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
The 4 Marlin players
coming together,
to talk about
rubbing that brain cell together.
to either talk about how their hero is actually the best in the game, or it's just complete dog water and there's no in between. So yeah, so look forward to that on Friday, and we're gonna do our pro quests, and yeah, um, yeah.
I'm gonna propose an idea.
What's your
You
idea?
guys can shoot this down. Slay the Spire 2 has 4-player co-op.
Ooh.
Would you guys like to do a
Ooh.
run together and like put that out as a video?
I'm down.
Yeah, I want to play Defect.
We could do. I
I've-
don't know if
yeah.
we want to put that on like a separate. We could also just if you. I don't like. How do you all do it in terms of like? Do you have like separate playlists or do you?
I have playlists for stuff.
Okay.
I could put it on like Patreon as a bonus thing. I don't know. It could be.
That could be fun.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down to do that.
Sure.
I'm
Mhm.
excited. Like I'm actually excited for it. It's kind of like crazy because I don't play
Yeah.
a ton of video games, but Slay the Spire is cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
That just about does it, I guess, for the JARTCast. So yeah,
Catch us on the next or the 53rd episode.
53rd or something, the 6th, 7th episode
holy.
of the
Of the
JARTCast.
JARTcast.
We have to reserve 6-7 for a very special episode.
Yeah. When they announced
Maybe
that
like an
they're gonna-
anniversary episode.
when they
Yeah.
announced that Kano's unbanned with Tomes, oh my god, can you imagine? That
No,
would
it'll be
6, 7.
when we get the full spoiler for Omens and Icelander's the hidden hero.
That would actually,
Ooh.
oh man,
Ooh.
LSS, you could make me so happy if you errated the set to have an Icelander in there. I'm not.
Draftable Icelander. You don't get any ice cream.
I'm not gonna cope that hard. I think it's just gonna be.
I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like the summer sets have been like 3 heroes and 1 talent. So we have like Pirate, three heroes, Lightning, 3 heroes, Mystic, 3 heroes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
Oh yeah.
it feels all this coping is for naught because it feels like wow. I guess I kind of like didn't realize this, and someone pointed out in Discord, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I guess this is normal, but I just wish it was not the Lightning talent and something else.
Here's the thing. Idea. All right, so everyone hates Magic the Gathering because there's too many sets, right? What if Fab had like an extra set a year so that we could have like some more stuff? Because it feels, especially, I didn't bring this up earlier, but this like officially releasing on like June 5th, like feels like a crazy long time, right? Because like didn't like Compendium came out like late February. So like yeah, it just kind of feels wild how long
We get Hala in a month.
okay.
And there's like there's 2 mastery pack sets that are coming out.
Oh
really?
yeah.
I've been told there's also a Smash Palace 2, like a social product.
Oh.
There's a new like Welcome Learn to Play deck as well. That's going to be one of the mastery pack classes, probably.
If it's Aurora and it's Mastery Pack Rune Blade, oh my god, can you imagine?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like Ranger and Warrior because those 2 classes need more support.
Sure.
Warrior
Ranger
players.
needs it real bad.
I hope it's
Ranger needs a lot of help.
I hope it's Ranger.
Ranger got
Wizard.
a fucking UPF bow for their majestic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that thing.
Like, if I was a Ranger player, like primarily a Ranger player, and like I like got a box of Compendium and was like, oh boy, what cool Ranger cards am I gonna get? I would want to quit playing Fab. That feels like
I got Cheating Scoundrel. That's a Ranger.
The UPF bow is crazy because like none of you play UPF, I'm assuming, right? Like I don't.
I played it once.
Yeah, but I remember hearing someone who did play it saying like, yeah, you actually don't even really want to attack the person diagonal from you because they're not attacking you, right? They're helping you. So why would you want? So like it doesn't matter. I'm like, oh, so this is just like bad. Yeah. So I don't. The poor Ranger. I hope that I hope we get Mastery Pack Wizard with Blaze and then new Kano and then
New Acilio.
no, get
Third Acilio.
you get
Acilio 3.
Get him away from me. I'm sick.
3 Acilios.
I'm sick of this fucking guy. I want him gone. I'm
Beat him with hammers.
Putting out a hit on Acilio. First person.
Acilio canonically did die, and as
good.
an Aurora player, I want to know, can I undo that? Like, just give me Starfall back.
Oh, it'd be
let Acilio be dead.
That'd be sick. Can that happen? LSS, please. Anyway, Yeah, but yeah, that just about does it for us. Catch us,
Ride the lightning.
Ride the Lightning,
Challenge the Omens.
Master of Puppets, Enter Sandman, and Justice for All. All right, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.